Welcome to our channel, Learn with Siraj. Hello, this is Siraj.
Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a type of word that sounds like what it describes. The combination of strings of letters phonetically produce sounds in the word imitating the natural sounds of that object or action. So the letters phonetically imitate the natural sounds. Ready to turn to some examples? Let's start. Buzz, whoosh, boom, quack. Notice how these words were formed from the actual sounds. Yes, that's the actual sounds. Usually words sound nothing like what they mean. So the majority of words we read have no resemblance to the actual sound. Let's now look at some more examples. Rattle. Can you think of what rattles? Roar. What about what roars? Screech. What screeches? Bang. And what creates a sudden bang sound? By verbosity, we mean less words are used than otherwise required for the reader to understand. In other words, in usual writing, the word sounds bears no relationship to what they mean, so the sounds has no relationship to what they mean. But words using onomatopoeia bear full relationship to what they mean, so onomatopoeia uses verbosity, less words. So verbosity means less words are used, and the actual sound is used. The sound is imitated in the letter strings, in the spelling. For example, the cat mewed. Here the writer uses onomatopoeic effect. Here the writer is creating a vivid image. The writer is creating a vivid image with verbosity. Less words are used. Can you think of any more examples? Now let's turn to why writers use onomatopoeia. Why do writers use onomatopoeia? By using onomatopoeia, writers can create a more immersive reading experience by allowing readers to hear the sounds of the story in their minds. For example, when a writer uses the word buzz to describe the sound of a bee, the reader can hear the sound of the bee in their mind, which can make the scene feel more real and engaging. Similarly, when the writer uses the word crash to describe the sound of a car accident, the reader can hear the sound of the crash in their mind, which can create a more emotional response. So it creates more of a visceral emotional response. Writers deliberately use onomatopoeia to add excitement, to add action, interest, emotion, fun, humor, be more expressive and paint a vivid and clear picture. If we didn't use the letters phonetically to imitate the sound, then this might not otherwise be possible. And even with using more words, we might not be able to achieve the same effect. This brings us to what effect does onomatopoeia bring to the reader. Onomatopoeia allows readers to hear the sounds of the words they reflect. Examples of onomatopoeia words in sentences are: he flipped a switch and the furnace roared to life. The furnace roared to life. Let's write this sentence without onomatopoeia. He flipped a switch and the furnace turned to life. The furnace turned to life. Does it have the same impact? Does it have the same effect? Does it have the same sensory and visual effect? Let's look at another example. With onomatopoeia, she hissed at me to get away from him. Hissed at me. She hissed at me. Without onomatopoeia, she told me to get away from him. She told me to get away from him. So the introduction of the word hissed is the actual imitation of the sound. So the letters make phonetically the sound. It imitates the sound. The furnace roared and she hissed at me heightens the language beyond the literal words. Yet without onomatopoeia, the sentence is stale, it's flat, it's dead, it's boring. Here, the words are understood by going beyond the basic meaning, without a metaphor and without exaggeration. So the actual imitation of the sound and the spelling, they basically create imagination, and without which the words would otherwise lack imagination in the subsequent sentence, like an onomatopoeia. So that's the benefit. We didn't use a metaphor, or we didn't exaggerate it. We actually just used a sound, and it had imagination, otherwise it wouldn't. Let's just quickly recap what onomatopoeia is. Onomatopoeia is a literary device that uses words to imitate the sounds we describe. It can have several effects on the reader, including creating a sense of vividness. Onomatopoeia can help create a sense of vividness in a piece of writing, making it easier for the reader to imagine the sounds that are being described. So it creates a vividness. It makes it easier for the reader to imagine the sounds. Secondly, creating a sense of rhythm. It creates a rhythm. Onomatopoeia can help create a sense of rhythm in a piece of writing, particularly when words are used in a repetitive and patterned way. So when onomatopoeia, the words are used repetitively and in a patterned way, it makes the writing more engaging and more memorable. Creating a sense of humor. Onomatopoeia can be used to create a sense of humor in a piece of writing, particularly when the words are used in unexpected or unusual ways. So when you hear a sudden sound, when a word is spelled in a way which imitates the sound, it can make you laugh, and that can create engagement, creating a sense of sensory experience. Onomatopoeia can help create a sense of sensory experience in a piece of writing when describing sounds that are difficult to put into words. So particularly when describing sounds that are difficult to put into words is what onomatopoeia can really help with. This can make the writing more immersive. It can make it more engaging. So the sense of sensory experience describes a sound which otherwise would be difficult to put into words, and that creates immersion and engagement. Overall, onomatopoeia can be a powerful tool for writers to use when trying to create a specific effect or mood in their writing. The effect that it creates can vary depending on the context in which it is used, but it can be a powerful way to make a piece of writing more engaging and memorable for the reader. That's us done. Good luck, and make notes on this video, placing special emphasis on learning the bold words. So those bold words are important in the use of your explanations.
Why not call us on 01924 50 60 10 or WhatsApp us on 0795 1918 152.